we have, I guess, just as we've inherited a couple of myths about what physics in Cambridge was like, we've inherited some myths about what astronomy is like, right? So we could call that the watchtower myth, right? That what astronomers do is stay up late at night on their own, in freezing conditions, in the dark, lying on their back, looking through lenses at the heavens. That's the classical image of the astronomer, and that's not inaccurate. One of the revolutions that Ratcliffe and Ryle and Hewish and Bell lived through and helped engineered is remote sensing. That you don't sit at the eyepiece of a radio telescope. That's not how it works. Instead, you begin to see what has become so characteristic of all modern science, which is telecoms, which is not working exactly where you're looking, right? The fact that this room and the associated soundproof studio next door can be connected by a series of slightly unreliable wires to the Mullard Radio Observatory, which is on the abandoned railway line from Cambridge to Oxford, about 6 miles southwest of the city, is terribly interesting in terms of the history of astronomy, right? Because what it means is that you have collaborative work slightly remote from the detectors. And it's the radio astronomers more than anybody else, I think, who invented and worked out how to live with the kind of conditions that now dominate intellectual, academic and scientific life, which is watching screens, rather than watching the world, right? And trusting the screen to give you a completely accurate vision of what's really going on in the world. So most labs now look like most offices, and most offices and labs are entirely dependent on telecommunication networking. And it was the radio astronomers, and it was these radio astronomers in this room who really invented that form of scientific life. It's an incredibly important global historical change, right? Because until then, different kinds of sciences had radically different kinds of working practices, and you begin to see a vision of what our future has become in this room. I think it's an amazing sight just for that reason, even if you don't think about pulsars and quasars.